Greetings. It's Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. I bet you're all waiting with bated breath to see how this project worked out, where I put 5 pigs on my garden. I might talk about it like I'm a pro, but you know, I never actually did it. I've heard about it and I've seen people do it, but this is the first year that I actually did it myself. I've used it on other fields and stuff that we want to plant, but never a controlled rooting graze like this before. I'm right at the end of it now. Here's the garden. You can see it's all fluffed up. There's the section from over there. That's from, you know, it's 9 days now. So we had 3 moves, 5 pigs, 9 days, 3 days each. And I won't say that we didn't have any problems. We did, because it got cold and it got overcast, and my solar fencer kind of didn't shock quite as much as it used to. But here we are at the end of it, and we've got a beautifully fluffed garden and derooted, and I made some observations that I wanted to share. Okay, these are the roots that we're talking about. These are quackgrass roots, and I guess they're all over the place. I did a calculation on how many of those roots I found per square foot, and I found about a 1/16 of a pound. And so we have a 5,000 square foot area here that we're dealing with. So it came out to be about 312 pounds of these roots. And I noticed that we would feed the pigs every day as well, not as much, but they would leave feed. And they seem to prefer these roots. And I took one. They're sweet, very sweet. And there's a lot of water in them. So we're just coming out of winter now. So they retained all this moisture all winter long, which is really kind of interesting. So you're talking 5,000 square feet and about 1/16 of a pound of these beauties per square foot. So it looks like about 312 pounds. And 5 pigs, 9 days, they would have gotten about 7 pounds per day of these. And I believe that they did, because they left feed in here. They preferred the roots over the hog chow, which these guys were just feeding them bread right now. All right, well, the material that worked, or the equipment that worked, was these posts right here. How does that look? That's a steel post with 2 insulators on it and some poly wire. If they were going to fail, it was because of the steel post. If the wire touches it, you've got a grounded out fence. Not good. So I had some other posts that came with some netting that we bought, poultry netting, that we've bought twice, and it's been a disaster both times. Not good. I just can't endorse netting. When it's windy, it gets blown away. It's too heavy for the post. It drags on the ground and shorts itself out. And then I've had it where animals have gotten tangled up in it. Not good. So we've abandoned it. We won't use it anymore. But I took the posts, and the posts were fiberglass, so they're not going to fail like this. These insulators work great. They're the screw-on insulators, and the wire works great. I had to change fencers, like I said, and I went to my biggest fencer that I have, which is a bull fencer, which was the only one that I had that wasn't being used. And it's interesting, the fence is there, right there, and there's a foot. So they didn't get within a foot of that fence. They're way out here. So pigs, remember, when they get zapped, they don't like it. Okay, and I had a few questions on the feral child trap. Here it is right there. And you can see how I rigged up this door. Once it's down, they can't get their nose up under it. They can go over the top. Make no mistake, pigs can climb over the top. We had an Earth Day celebration Sunday, so we brought our newest boar with us. His name's Larry. He's a nice swallow belly, real tame guy, and we had him in here. Of course, he won't go in just because you ask him. You got to lure him in and then trap him. We had him up here in the yard, and sure enough, he climbed over the top, so we had to put a top on it. Yep, that wouldn't have been really good if Larry got out in Cadillac and started rooting the shoreline. Anyway, this project worked out very well, and I just trapped the last two girls out of here. I'm going to move them over to our produce area, which is about 2 acres right now. We can expand it if we need to, but 2 acres of produce is more than I want to fool with. And I've got them fenced, larger scale. Try to show you right out there. There's 9 of them out there. I haven't had any escapes. I'm getting ready to square it off and give them a much bigger area. But I go through and I look to see what the weeds look like. If I see anything green, they need to stay on it for a while. Real interesting, the water content in these weeds is real high, and they're leaving their water alone. That's real interesting to me. So I'm sure there's going to be other things that we discover along the way. This group, I gave them a porta hut, and they stay in bed a lot longer than this group over here. Which, you know, if they're not digging, they're going to be pacing the fence and looking for a way to get out. In the case over here, they did get out and they got onto the grass right here. And they dug the grass up a little bit. No harm done. We'll just rake it out and it'll be fine. You won't even notice that in a few months. Just a little elbow grease. And they turned it into feed, so not a big deal. All right, May 31st is going to be Pig Day. We've got about 100 baby pigs, and we want to see a lot of them go down the road. They're going to be 8 weeks old, most of them, at least 6. At least 6, so they're weaning weight. And we're going to be selling them for $250 a piece. These are great pigs. You can get them fed out by November, most likely, if you really put the feed to them. You don't have to give them corn if you don't want, but you can if you want. We don't, just because the GMO issue. But if you want to, you sure can. If you want to get scrounge from restaurants or scrounge from wherever, you know, they're omnivores, so they can eat just about everything. And they will grow. If you want to hit them hard with feed, they'll be ready to go. They'll be 300 pounds by November. You can do a home butcher if you want. What you could do is you could buy pigs from us, and then you could come to our butcher class in November, take the class, then go home and butcher your own. And then you'd know how to do it. It'd be something that would be in your survival homesteading toolbox, and then you can pass that skill on to other folks too. Learning how to make charcuterie products is really good. They used to just call it hanging a ham. Now we have a new name for it, but it's real nice to be able to get stuff preserved and not have to rely on a freezer or canning stuff, because that's time consuming too, takes a lot of energy. You slap a little salt on the end and hang it up. If you have the right hanging conditions, you will cure a ham, and then it'll be very useful to you as time goes by. Okay, so probably what you want to do if you're going to take advantage of Pig Day, it'll be a day when the farm's open. You know, come and hang out with us for a while. Then we can really take some time to discuss things with you as far as fencing, things like that. The little pigs, you know, you could bring them home and keep them in a dog carrier for a day or two while you get your fences up, or maybe you could make a makeshift fence with slap some pallets together or something, or you could get what you need as far as these materials and get it set up on your garden. Bring your baby pigs home. They're going to be electric fence trained already. They're in it right now, and they'll smell that electricity, and you probably won't have them get shocked. And then, you know, maybe a section of your garden that you're going to plant later. We do that. We plant later in the season, and then we have ways of keeping the produce from getting wind on it, and that way we have fresh greens deeper into the winter that's just on the field, that's not preserved. Anyway, this is Mark from Baker's Green Acres. I'm going to be coming back to you in a day or so with some information about the pig situation and about our quest in general that I feel you have been right there with me. Definitely financed it for us, and the support was unbelievable. But you know it's not over. You just know it's not over. And I don't mean just a specific pig issue as pertains to Baker's Green Acres. I mean overall rights, property rights, the direction our country's going, things like that. And there is things that we can do and things that we must do. We must start to feel duty bound to do some of these things as American citizens, as parents, and as farmers. Okay, so I'll be coming back to you in a couple days or so with some plans, message, what I plan to do, and the direction that we're going to be going, and a little bit of an update on the pig situation as well. All right, thanks for tuning in. This is Mark from Baker's Green Acres. Remember, anyone can farm.